Welcome back. I am Jack. In this video, I will add or onboard a new employee in T3 Workforce Central. Let's open Workforce Central application and get started. Here I am pressing the Onboard button to open a new pop-up window where I can start with entering employee ID and name. It is also possible to generate employee IDs automatically if you define your preference in the organization setup, but in my scenario, I am required to enter a unique employee ID. Let's continue updating all other personal details of the employee. It is not mandatory to define all the details, and you can start with updating the information available with you at the time of onboarding. You can always return to this page and update details as and when you want. You must enter the employee email address if you want an employee to access employee self-service. I will update other contact details such as mobile or phone number later. You can define employee home country, city and native language as per your requirement or leave blank. Employee address is again not mandatory, but you can define if you have the information available. In the next stage, we will be updating work and organization-related information. Let's move to the next stage by pressing Next button. Here organization is selected automatically. I am selecting desired operating unit, physical work or office location of the employee. Also selecting department, employee position or job title, and employee category. Reporting manager needs to be selected from the list. If you do not find the desired name in the quick list, then press the search button to open a record search window. Once reporting manager is selected, it is time to select the onboarding date or the hire date. The hire date is considered a contract start date. The contract type needs to be selected as applicable. If you select fixed term, then the contract end date is mandatory, but you can leave it blank in the case of an open-ended contract. In the case of full-time employment, the system sets FTE% as 100. However, in the case of part-time engagement, you will be required to define FTE%. HR coordinator is the person going to assist this employee and going to be one-point contact for HR matters. There is not dotted line manager assigned to this employee, so I am moving to the next stage. In this stage, we are required to define work time rules and preferences. The time allocation segment is to be selected from the given list that includes project, cost center, department and business unit, which is the same as the operating unit. The employee will be able to allocate his time based on this selection. Since I am selecting project, it means an employee can allocate his time to different projects while submitting the timesheet. The home project is the default project where employee time will be accounted. The next is Timesheet Approval, which indicates who is going to approve timesheets submitted by the employee. By default, it is set as Reporting Manager, but you can change this as applicable. Since this employee time will be billed to the client, the timesheets are required to be approved by the client. If you select segment-wise, that means if the time allocation segment is selected as a department, then it will be directed to the department manager or business unit manager or cost center administrator respectively. The next is time reporting, which means how employee time reporting data will be collected. If this employee will submit a timesheet manually, then you can set this as not required. If you select office device, then you can also input timecard ID used by external biometric or timepunch devices. External person ID can be defined if your payroll system is using a different employee code or ID to keep both systems in sync. The timesheet process for this employee is to be selected from the given options. When time reporting is set as not required, then it has to be set as self-billed, which means employees can generate the timesheet themselves using the timesheet interface. All other options are applicable only when time reporting data is available in the system to auto-build timesheets. You can create multiple work schedules as per your requirement and select desired one here. Employee image can be uploaded by pressing Choose File button and selecting the image from your local machine. Please follow the size guideline while selecting the picture and preferably keep the size less than 30 kilobits. The next is email self-service credentials. If you select accessible, then the system will create a self-service user and send an automated email containing login credentials and required information to access employee self-service to the employee. Finally, press the Save button and you are done. You can see the new employee in the Workforce Central. That's all we have in this video. Thanks for attending this session.